I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
You're watching Heavenly Delusion, Season 1, Episode 11. Last episode, Juichi killed a man with a saw.
It really got me. They got me there, because I was like, oh, you get some, like, nice kid playing with some blocks, and I'm like, what's that red splatter on those blocks? Is that...
Episode 9 ends. All I want in my life is more Juichi. Every other show that's ever existed never shows me Juichi again. Episode 10 starts, Juichi driving us. Best show ever.
You're so right.
End of episode 10, Juichi kills a man with a saw next to his baby. Kind of. Best show ever. New fifth years, too. Creepy. Weird, vague speech. Mimahime. Keywords.
Listen to your heart if you are confused.
I'm not. Are you?
No.
You ready?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Are the fifth years really, you know, blending in now? We're all friends.
Fun, positive vibes.
So wholesome.
Nobody's committed suicide here.
Are those actually ears? I thought they were just like hair tufts.
時代が見たら怒るだろうな。どうしてるかな、時代は。さあ、コナとはやりとりできてるらしいけど。
Through the messages? Can he feel her pain a bit? What the fuck? Oh my god, what the fuck?
So
Was that like
connected.
him seeing through her eyes and feeling what she knows, or did he know more? Kona's amazing.
It's either a superpower or he's the strongest empath to ever exist.
If Kona's alive, and this baby is Maru, could Kona connect with Maru?
What happens from now? Like, what happens after the birth of this baby? I have literally no clue.
Peak.
屋根に登るな。へっこむだろ。
True.
自分で散々乗ったくせに。
僕の車だ。僕の自由だ。
Oh.
いいや、僕の。ああ。キルコ朝から何してんのかと思ったらよ。
That took him all
丸
morning.
の字はこうだ。せめて間違わずに書け。まあいい。書くだから11の名前も入れてやるか。
Yes.
いいね。
Wait, so
書いといてなんだけ
Great.
ど。
Beautiful.
これ11台目の車だと思われる気がしてきた。
いいじゃん別に。
僕の商売は信用が大事なんだぞ。
11th
しょ
car.
うもない見栄を張ってると思
11th
われたら
episode.
やだな。
なくともキルコ丸1号は存在した。
ああ、イカだな。
The raft.
そ
Oh.
うだ。ローマ数字でこれはキルコ丸2号だ。すべての辻。
Yes! Make it make
11の
sense.
立場がなくなったけど。
え。
なるほど。こんな風に目的地がわかるもんなんだな。
前文明のことは前文明に聞けってことだ。
a normal looking baby in a place where a bunch of not normal looking babies are.
Combatants.
8人とも輸送後仮死状態から目覚めた。
What?
彼らの武器
What? What?
部品もできました。後の懸念は子供たちの病気。
Children
5期生
plural.
の子たちにもあの病気は発症するんでしょうね。
はい、おそらく。
もうかけるしかない。
かけるとは。
時代くんの子供ですよ。子供たち同士の子。ミーナさんが産んだのではない子供たち同士の子。決定的に予定外。時代くんの子供、そこにかけます。やってくれますね。私はこの完全に壊れた世の中に天国が芽吹くのを見届けなければ
What
なら
the
ないんで
fuck?
す。人間が寿命という足かせを外さなければそれは叶わない。高原学園がそれをやります。
Break them.
しかし脳移植は入れ物の方が15歳、 少なくとも13歳くらいに成長してい
Wait, they've been trying to create
私
brain
のあと
containers? Like,
13年も生きられないとでも何せ80歳のおばあちゃんですものね。
興奮なされるとますます
ますますなんだ。
園長。
取り乱しました。まず青島さんになります。私は。そして入れ物が成長するのをゆっくり待ちます。それだけ間を空ければ二度の移植にも耐えられる。
She's just changing her brain into other
青島の
bodies?
権限を昇格させたんですね。青島の承諾はあるんですか。
Other people don't know?
副園長の昇格を承諾したということはいずれ園長になることを承諾したのと同じ。
but not in that way.
される誰に法律ですか。そんなもんとっくにあるかい。もしかしてまさか神
She's crazy.
同調圧力でしかないのはあなたもよくお分かりの
Pressured.
はず。
Oh my god.
そんなものに縛られないためにあなたは高原学園にいるんでしょう。天国を作ったんでしょうが。
Heaven.
時代くんの子供必ず無事に出産させるんですよ。
He's not gonna. What are you gonna do? He's gonna.
かわいい
Oh my god.
I have so many.
It's like a parallel of Juichi trying to run away with the baby.
しかしまあ車も一長一短だな。足なら一歩で越えられる段差のせいで
Having to
なか
take
なか目
roads.
的地に着かないんだもんな。バルもう明かりを消せ。この家明かりを隠すものがないんだ。一応警戒しといた方がいい。
夕方寝たから眠くないんだよな。
Oh,
ちょっとお姉ちゃんってもう寝てんのかよ。
what do we see?
ね、遠くに煙が見えるよ。
ああ
Smoke in the
寝ぼける
distance.
な。
Whoa.
本当だ。
な、
What's it being illuminated
こんなの
by?
が見えるってことは下に光源があるんだよな。
Yeah.
地図あと方位磁石。
Is that where we're supposed to go?
まさに茨城施設の方向だな。明日車はここに置いて歩いていこう。
What if they can see you? Oh my god. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Wait.
No.
Wait, no
shot.
way!
Robin? I feel like we're not gonna get it now. That was what the fuck is happening?
Tomato heaven. The real one.
What? Why now show us the ears?
I know, I really just thought they were like hair clumps.
オーマで合ってる。僕みんなの迷惑。
What? What the fuck? Oh shit! What the fuck? What the fuck?
It's almost like she was seeing her future of having to be like parts of her just continuously removed.
ただ時代とシンクロしてしまったみたいで。
Synchronized to
時代
Tokyo.
の具合が良くないの。
ミミ姫はなんでここに？
僕はオーマってわかる？
あ、黒メガネの子だね。
そうそう、あの子の目を直に見たら幻覚を見せられた。
Interesting.
それがなんていうか不安を現実にしたような、いや幻覚なんだけど、
Worst fears.
僕は尖ったものとか切れる歯とかそんなのがなぜだかすごく怖いの。それが怖くなるような体験をしたわけでもないのに。
わかるよ。恐怖症ってやつだね。僕は狭いところに閉じ込められるイメージが怖いし、そんな幻覚を見せられたら気絶すると思う。
僕
Why do I feel like he's gonna be
普段
trapped
か
in
ら
a small
他
place
の人
now?
には見えてないものが見えてるかもしれない。宙に浮かんだ人影が見えたり、これから起きることが先に見えたり。でもぼやっとしてたり、いつ起きるかはよくわからない。明日起きるような気がしても全然起きなかったり、ずっと未来のことのような気がしてたのに10秒後に起きたり。今も。
なるほど。それは予感とか予知の感覚だと思う。みんなもある程度あるはずなんだけど、耳姫は特に顕著みたいだ。
消えろ消えろ消えろ消えろ消えろ消えろ。
Kona's a man-eater.
That makes me really mad. I don't know why. I'm upset.
部屋に戻るね。
ゆっくり休んで。
All of them are children created by Mina.
おうもどうしたのこんな時間に。これハンカチを渡すためにずっと待ってたの。耳姫僕ごめんなさい。
Why? Does she want to see the whole thing, or
She can withstand it. Holy shit.
大間の迷惑ってやつ僕には聞かないから。もう泣いたり謝ったりしな
God,
くていい
Mimi
よ。
is so fucking cool.
God. You can't just leave that little girl feeling like she only hurts everyone.
今のところ合っています。続けてください。C23 を Y7 に。
俺たちは何を作ってるんだろうな。
Yeah, what are we building?
壊れた世界に純粋な天国を作るって目的までは明快だったけどさ、その先がさ、天国という目的以外に与えられてる情報が断片的すぎてさ。
It's to create a immortality for the director.
すでにいくつもタブーを踏み越えちまったもんな。
作業を続けてください。B44 を A16 に、H5 を Q31 に。
ゴッドが GO と言っている。計画を実行しましょう。園長不在の今がチャンスです。
下準備は整っていますが。
では具体的にはいつ？
It's like they're hiding from a camera.
開けばいつでも。おっとミルクの時間だ。失礼します。
沢谷先生。ねえ、ちょっと。
Oh no.
皆さんおはようございます。天永18年7月20日土曜日です。1限目は全員プールに集合してください。なおプールには入りませんので制服のままで構いません。
Did you guys not listen to the assignment? Wear your uniforms. Yeah, what the fuck?
That's so relatable.
I have an awful feeling.
I know.
落ちるなよ。耳姫。ああ。時代だ。
Okay.
よか元気そうだな。髪伸びてる。
もうすぐ学校に戻れるんだって。
また時代と遊べるぞ。やったね。
皆さんお話をやめて集合してください。
あら？何の授業？全学年集まってる。
全校集会とか？
They don't even know about it. What is it?
テストが始まります。答えに迷った時は自分が正しいと思った方へ進んでください。
Listen to your heart if you're confused.
到達することがヒルコである皆さん
As Hiruko.
まもなく最初の問題が発生します。皆さんの健闘を祈ります。
They're like a plague being set upon the world, basically.
ねえタカ。
どうした？
テストって何なのかな？
ああ、 急だけど予告された以上抜き打ちではないよな。
なんだかわからないけど僕不安なの。
不安なのはこっちだよ。
そういう意味じゃないんだけどな。
ヒルコって言ってたよな。
言ってたっけ？
なんだか僕すっかり忘れてた本当の名前を呼ばれた気がする。
Because they're all children born of Mina.
僕もそんな気がした。
The cuts are diabolical. Tokyo Jr.
おやすみ。
Why are there 2 cribs? What? The fuck? What the
She
fuck?
had twins! She had twins! Find someone with the same face as me!
勉強してるのかと思ったらゲームだね。
What the
何の
fuck?
テストかもわからないのに勉強できないよ。そりゃそうか。
Okay, that was Heavenly Delusion, Season 1, Episode 11. Fuck. I was like, okay, that's a lot of milk for one baby. And then I was like, there's 2 cribs. And then I was like, fuck, that was an adequate amount of milk for each baby.
And I was like, wait, how much does a baby drink?
Jesus.
It's a well-fed baby.
So not looking for Tokyo.
Not looking for Tokyo.
Looking for Maru's sibling?
Yeah.
We didn't see the birth. This would be the only time we could have seen, like, unveiled that there are 2 babies.
This was an unveiling. And I think that, like, obviously, like, Tokyo's character design is so similar to Maru's that that's why I was like, oh, okay. I mean, someone, like, the relation, looking for someone with the same face as me could be a little more, like, less specific, like, identical face, and more so, like, look like a family relation, and that's where my mind was going.
Yeah.
But no, it's actually someone with an identical face to Maru.
What
And
does
we
that
have to
mean?
inject them with something.
Do you
It'll
think
be best
that
for the
they're
entire world.
in a tight little corner, tight little space? When Kona said that, I was like, oh shit. He might be, but then we get the man-eater vision. And I'm like, where the fuck? What?
You can keep going with whatever you were saying.
Like, I'm just like, where the fuck? What the fuck are we doing?
One of the babies gets out. The other one is still being captive to be the director's next brain implant. And didn't the director say I probably have another 15 years left on my life? We're cutting it pretty close to when that baby's about to die. Or get, like,
What
you know,
would the
brain...
syringe do? I agree that, like, okay, the idea of the transplanting a brain into a different body is fucking wild.
It's already in the story.
The idea that it already is in the story, I'm, like, wondering where that, if there is a connection between that, or if it's just, like, it's possible, or if it's like this doctor was connected to the doctor who did it at the beginning of the series somehow, or it's just like becoming plausible within the world that we're living in. They don't need to be connected at all, but it's interesting that we're merging or like having a bridge between these 2 storylines, and that bridge is the transplantation of a brain. I completely agree with where you were going, whether it was or was not Tokyo's baby. I think that it seems like the director's goal here is some sort of immortality, and meaning by that the transplantation of her consciousness into another body. It seems like through their best efforts, they've tried to produce humans that are incapable of getting any disease or of any easy injury, and have more advancements to them in kin to superpowers, but there lies within that a secret disease that is a big fuck you to their plans.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe because of that, the most probable, safest body to host would be one born of, you know, Kona and Tokyo.
But yeah, right, because we've kind of diluted it a little bit. Like, the fact that all of these children, like, that speech by Mina at the very end to all of the kids shows that what we've known all along is that this robot, this technology is sentient in the way that it is manipulating and controlling what's being seen by the humans. And if these are all of its children, what it means is all the man-eaters are its children, and they are not born yet. They're gonna go on to the outside, you know, and go wreak havoc. And that is not a plan that I think the director is. I think that in the director's plan, it's, I'm creating some facade of a heaven so that I can rule forever as this immortal godlike being.
The term Hiruko being brought up here, I am 60% sure is the direct bridge to us using it like Maru, right? I don't know how, but that's where I currently lie. Fuck. Dude. One of the biggest moments this episode for me. Remember when we went in to that fucking hospital and were killing the man-eaters and then there was one left alive?
Mm-hmm.
That was Oma. Hallucinations? And it's with Mimahime?
And it would have stayed with Mimahime. Oh my god, that's so real. And the hallucination being literally exactly what happens to Mimahime. And then we see that what Mimahime sees with Kona is that Kona is inevitably going to become a man-eater. Like, holy... Oh my god. And Juichi is more plot relevant than I ever thought, because we are having Aoshima and Dr. Sawatari talking about, like, what the fuck do we do here? You know, I want to go rewatch the scene of them standing. They were standing on, like, opposite sides of the, like, the painting with the chair in front of them, and I almost feel like that was their way to make sure the camera couldn't pick them up, that they were, like, talking in that room. But I really want to see, like, how that conversation ended again, because it seems like Dr. Sawatari walked off and Aoshima was kind of like, wait, you know, like, almost like they hadn't come to an understanding or weren't on the same page.
Okay. It's right after we get the Mina IKEA
Mina's
furniture
doing some stuff.
shit.
Okay.
We get the depiction,
God,
which I'm so fucking happy that we got. It definitely even elicits everything, like, from what Juichi was telling us, too, which is wild. God is telling us to go. Let's execute the plan. Now's our chance while the director isn't here. And the God is telling us to go, is that the idea of God and their idea of what's right? Or is it like, that's what Mina is telling us to do right now, you know?
So that's cool. Like, it could be that. I think another thing I think of is, like, if you think of, like, the conception of, like, Jesus, the fact that they have kids that were born of Mina being able to have a child, like, that was probably, like, something they didn't necessarily think could happen.
Like, you could take as a divine
you
sign.
You could think of as a divine sign, like, the birth of these babies from two Mina-made children.
Yeah.
That it could be seen as God, like, a, you know, God in the works.
I've made the preliminary arrangements. Then when can we start specifically? If the gate to the outside were to accidentally open, then any time. I wouldn't call that specific. Oops, time for the milk. It's like, do you think Dr. Sawatari is going to execute something before the transplantation of the brain happens? Or do you think that us having Maru as our main character is proof that something happens before her brain and body isn't utilized?
Aoshima looks a lot like Mikura.
Yeah.
So, and then also we have Juichi, And Juichi's whole thing was that when they could, he tried to escape with both women, the wives and the baby, and then the wives were caught and killed. And he was the only one that got away, not the baby. But we have not seen any character that would necessarily fit that parallel to parallel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it's not like we see Dr. Sawatari, though that does make me have to bring something else up. But if you have something to address with what I
was
just...
it?
I'm trying to figure out how it is that in Kiriko's timeline we have a doctor doing the same sort of brain switching surgeries and it not maybe be related to Takahara Academy.
Yeah, that's what I was bringing up earlier. Like, is the connection more thematic? Is it telling us that it exists within the world, or is it a direct connection with Dr. Sawatari, his research, and the original doctor who performed the surgery, the crazy doctor who we don't have a name for? Yeah, is that Sawatari? Is it a colleague? Is it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have no fucking idea where Mina has come from. Like, what is Mina? The director, we have the director, we see the gun, excuse me.
The Kiru beam, yep.
But in the conversation between the head of technology and Mina's there just giving direction, it's obviously giving, okay, the director can be going in one way and that's to heaven and we can see the plan, but it's also giving, and Mina is putting things into action where nobody understands what Mina's actual motive is, and there's a potential scenario that the director is operating on with no knowledge of what Mina, the sentient being, is actually shooting for. Mm-hmm. Did we create Mina and it's just an AI that has learned sentience and is taken, its own route elsewhere? Did we create Mina with the express purpose of helping us create heaven? Was it Mina's idea in the first place? Where does Mina fall in line?
The prologue, before Tokyo and Kona even came to exist in this world, what is this creation of Mina and the director, there's so much here that but I desire to be dipped into and explicitly shown to me, whether it's more content or a prologue or a epilogue or anything, a special, a movie.
Do you think it's actually Robin? Or do you think somebody's in Robin's head? Do you think it's a different brain?
So, would Robin really have gone on to learn surgery, or what if the doc switched his brain with Robin's brain? So now he's in Robin's brain.
Or somebody else.
Yeah. Because I was really intrigued to, obviously the reasoning for Robin that we were given, that he started studying in the way that he was we were thinking maybe because he couldn't save or couldn't help someone that he really cared about. But if we're already getting this idea of generational, an older person desiring to continue on their legacy in a way where they then put themselves into a younger vessel.
The idea of we were given the idea of kids being just taken, right? And people just being taken. At in episode 3, I think. And just the rumor behind who was taking them, and it was a good thing, and there are people lucky to be taken. Was that for transplantation? Bro.
And what is and then we were I still go back to us trying to decipher the director's plans and thoughts compared to Mina's, because I'm the director keeps saying things like day of fate and soon, and is telling all the other people here something's gonna happen soon where this all comes to fruition. But the director's also saying that, I wouldn't need to transplant my brain for another 15 years. So what is the soon? Because obviously we know Mina has a soon. Mina has a outside of the outside. Y'all will be Hiriko's soon plan. But what is the director's soon? Like, what is it that the director is? Is it the same thing? Are they on the same page? Are they not?
I want to reread that conversation between Dr. Sawatari and the director, but while I'm like getting there, I'm like, why the fuck is there only one baby here? Why the fuck is there only one baby here? There's only one chart for a baby here. What? It's just the other one's on the opposite side of the room. Are we sure that it was just, oh, we had twins, or is there some fucked up shit going on that it's like...
We could be hiding it from the director that there were twins.
Interesting.
The director wasn't in the room when Tokyo was being born. It could be that we are intentionally...
I like that.
Like... Because when we think about it, like, Sawatari never told on the fact that he saw a shoe print in the, like, Mina baby room.
Yeah.
It could be that we are actually, like, saying that it was just one child.
So tell me the status of the combatants. It appears that after transportation, all 8 woke from suspended animation. I'm assuming that those are the 5th years?
Combatants! That's, like...
Are they referring to the 5th years there?
That's what I thought, but combatants is a really weird word to use talking about these, like, children.
The prototype of their super beam is also ready. My next concern is the children's illness. The super beam looks a little different, too. Will the 5th year students fall ill, too?
So maybe it's not about the 5th. Maybe the combatants are something different. Didn't we say that we were, like, gonna be working with other groups of people?
I'm not in a position to say that. It's never straightforward with you, is it? It's a possibility. At present, we don't know the cause. We don't have a cure either. Just as I feared, we will have to wager on it. Wager on what? And Mina's there, too. The chuckle. Tokyo's child. Singular. The child of 2 children. Not a child birthed by Mina, but a child of 2 children. This is far from... I won't wonder if Mina knows there's 2 children. This is something else altogether. We will have to wager everything on Tokyo's child. You'll do it, won't you? It's up to me to ensure with my own eyes that heaven blooms in this utterly broken world. But unless the shackles of human mortality are broken, I cannot do so.
I need immortality.
Takahara Academy will break
them.
But for brain transplants, the container must be 15 years old. They should be 13 at the very least, otherwise it's possible. And I won't live for another 13 years? I see how it is. I'm just some dried up 80-year-old lady. So, there exists a possibility that the other child birthed from Tokyo has already been transplanted, right? They said 13 is the earliest?
Right. All we're talking about is someone with the same face as me. We are never talking about, like, them existing as they were when they were born and not changed. We could totally walk up on someone that is the identical twin tomorrow and they have the brain of the director and we inject them, and I wonder what it would do. Would it rewrite something within the brain? Would it bring back
just because I'm wondering, like, how sci-fi you get or how based of reality you get. If you transplanted a human brain into another body 3 times over, I don't think the human brain could survive. Like, yeah, okay, you're in a healthy atmosphere and environment, but the brain itself has its own life cycle, you know, and degradation happens to the brain itself regardless of the container that it's being held in.
Yeah,
First, I'll become Miss Aoshima.
Also, as you get older, the brain gets less healthy. So you're putting, like, an unhealthy 80-year-old's brain into a child. Well, they'll be older than 80 in 13 years, so...
That's why you increased her rights. Has she given consent? When you agree to become the assistant director, you also agree to eventually become the director. Right? That's so fucked up. Jesus Christ. She's insane. She's cooked.
And she brings it back at him when he's, like, having these moral arguments. Like, well, that's, like, did you get her consent?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's like, you came here because you didn't want to be having that pressure to conform, and those laws.
Yeah, aren't you here to be avoided,
Setting
and tied
yourself
down by such
Yeah.
things? That's why we created heaven. Okay, if she's alive from the first transplantation, then there wouldn't be a rush to transplant her brain into Tokyo's other child. But fuck. I don't
But
know.
if your vessel, if Aoshima is Mikura,
Mhm.
if your vessel that you were hoping on first before, since because you need to wait for the baby to turn at least 13.
Yeah.
So if your next vessel is gone and ran away with what you perceive as, honestly, what if they really did keep the other baby secret?
Yeah.
Like completely secret.
Would Mina
What if
not
one
know
of them
then?
took one baby and the other one took the other baby? Like, there's the twin doesn't necessarily even have to, like, if we say that only one existed and someone runs away with that one, like, that's another scenario.
Yeah.
Not that, oh, I still have the one, no one ran away, but what if, like, oh my god, I have 0 because the one ran away?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm just like, the fuck? There's just so much. Do you think Mina knows of the second baby? Like, if you have all camera access and it truly was Mina, like, you know, disrupting the camera, then I would assume that she'd know.
Right, and we know that Mina wanted this baby's creation.
We also have to take into consideration that, like, it's easy for me to assume that giving a person with the same face as me a syringe is the lore accurate, correct thing to do, and I should trust it. But there does exist the possibility that even that information was maliciously
Malicious,
conveyed.
yeah, that the intent was good for all the world, but we're already talking in a way that shows that what someone deems as good for all the world isn't necessarily what everyone would agree on a moral ground, an ethical ground. Like, if you're saying this thing you're creating is heaven, but I don't think everyone would necessarily agree with the way that you've gone about it.
What if you were able to make a brain into a liquid, into a syringe, and when you're actually injecting somebody, you're injecting their consciousness? I don't know, man. I don't know. This is so fascinating. Do you think everybody's gonna die? Was that the end of the episode? This test, the exam. What the fuck is the exam?
And they're all feeling, all of these kids, like, they went from feeling no illnesses or negative feelings except for, like, the death of Asura, and then later on another, like, kid illness, death, Taro. And now, like, from that it was like dominoes. Like, this is the first time any of these kids are probably feeling, like, negative or, like, emotions they can't quite explain, like the worry. Like, to the fact where they bring it up and another kid, like Taka, just brushes it off. Like, oh, no, it's just a test, whatever. But, like, and they're also saying, like, this word that was used that I've never heard before, it felt like someone was calling my real name. And I'm like, what is honestly, whatever's in the next episode is gonna be bonkers, I'm sure.
Okay, how does that make sense? So, like, it sounds like somebody's calling my real name when you hear Hiriko. We basically get confirmation that all of these kids were birthed from Mina. Is Mina actually, like, the original Hiriko, like, in terms of name or being? Or do they all get that because they were all birthed from Mina?
It's almost like you're hearing, like, your mother say something to you. It's like a connector thing. Like, you wouldn't know it's like, that you would just know that it was your mother. You would just sense it.
Didn't what Mina say, like, kind of elicit what Aoshima was telling the kids before they were introduced to the fifth years?
Of, like, listen to your heart if you're confused. Yeah, it was a very similar sentiment. That was, and, like, Mina's was kind of like, if you don't know the answer, just go. Like, if you're lost, just go.
Go in the direction that you believe is the correct one. To reach the outside of the outside.
It's kind of like, let's see who can get out.
As Hiruko. What the fuck?
Your goal is to get out to the outside. That's it. There's no, like, your goal is to go be a fucking man-eater and eat people
It's
and
such a
scare
sad...
people, but it's just to get out of here. Like, your goal is to escape.
It's such a sad, like, understanding of why, without Maru realizing it, why he refers to them as Hiruko. Because, like, surface level, the real, like, the origin for calling somebody a Hiruko would be identifying them as one of the members of the people by the pool. A human, like, still. Not when they've already become a man-eater. But, fuck. Does the director even know Mina's holding this assembly?
Right, I know. Where have their plans diverged, and have they at all diverged, or am I being led somewhere?
It's interesting because, granted, it wasn't the director. We had 2 adults pass by and be like, huh, what's going on here? Is there a class?
Oh, I didn't know they were having an assembly.
Yeah.
And they were told to come in their uniforms and not their swimsuits. So realistic, though, that some of them still showed up in their swimsuits.
Yeah, but is that like the red herring of like, okay, some of these kids are not going to make the right decisions and we're doing this to like...
Aren't listening to the directions given to them. Like, these messages from Aoshima or from Mina here of like listening to your heart.
What is going to the outside of the outside? Is it like a 4th dimensional plane that's heaven? Like that Asura like achieved? Like, is it like, when you're saying the outside of the outside, are you saying that that's becoming a man-eater? Are you saying that it's something beyond it? Are you saying that it's just out in the world where Maru is right now?
Right. Is it something like outside of being human? Like, are we not even talking about a physical plane that we're in a space, like getting out of this building or whatever it is to the outside? Because wouldn't you just say, go outside? Like, I mean, at first I took it as, oh, to the kids, the outside is this, like, this closed-in playground, basically.
So outside of that would be, yeah.
But what if that's not even what it's necessarily meaning by those words?
Like, is Mina's end goal just to infect the world with man-eaters and yay, destruction because humans suck? Like, what would the motive actually be?
Her children get to survive and thrive.
Yeah. After death, like, what, does she not consider them her children until after they become a man-eater?
No, she probably does consider them her children right now, and so she wants them to go out and get to be, like, to be free.
What do you think these children would do if all the lights went off and all the doors opened? Would following your heart and what's best, would, like, your intuition be like, holy shit, we should escape this place? Because all you've ever been told your entire life is that this is home. You wouldn't want to leave those doors, you know?
We know that some of them would definitely leave, but there would definitely be some that would stay behind. And what is going to happen when we haven't even talked about, like, oh, we're going to go walk to where Robin is tomorrow, like, when we wake up in the morning.
I don't know.
At this factory with the smoke, like, what?
If Robin's Robin, what he's doing there.
Why is the factory up and running? Mm-hmm. What's the smoke? We're in a location that we're trying to get, like, are we really in the vicinity of where we need to be right now?
I don't know. Damn it. I love it. It's so good. There's so many questions. More answers are probably not to come. But that's the best part. Man. The twin thing really fucked me up. Okay, I'm good. All right, that's all I have. You?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.